Yuki and John's Patreon buffet.
Yuki!
John!
We're back.
We're back, yes.
And we're going to do something here, because a while back we did
Star Wars, right?
Star Wars, which is a franchise near
Right.
and dear to our hearts, even though we hate some of it.
Right,
We also really love some of it.
right.
But there's another franchise that's set in the stars that I find, for me personally, is almost as important, if not equally as
Right.
important as, for me, Star Wars.
Star Wars, yes.
This is Star Trek,
Star Trek, yes.
right? Star Trek. You like Star Trek?
Well, that is a yes and no, because...
Same as Star Wars, right?
Yeah, because I grew up as original cheesy TV show, 60s.
Yes. It wasn't all cheesy.
Well, maybe back then it wasn't cheesy, but when you look back, new Star Trek, I'm not talking about the movie, just the TV Star Trek
Yeah.
even, like a Next Generation. I mean, set was cheesy.
You thought it was cheesy?
Yeah, but that's the beauty of it. That's the Star Trek.
Yeah.
And then what amazing is those gadget,
Future gadgets, yeah.
Some of them we have it now.
Yeah, they predicted the communicators and the things.
Yeah, like the TV phone, like we have now.
Yeah.
But back then it was we still can't beam up though. But
No, I wish we could beam up.
Yeah,
I would be beaming all over the place.
Beam me up, Scotty.
Yeah,
right?
Scotty, beam me up now. I don't know if he ever said beam me up, Scotty. I think that's made up by the general public.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think Kirk ever said beam me up, Scotty.
I don't remember that.
I don't remember either. We're going to look it up. But did you know something interesting about Star Trek? I have this book, and I'll look up the name of it because I forgot the name, of course, because I'm stupid. But there's a book about the making of Star Trek, and they say that Lucille Ball had a big
part of
getting Star Trek on TV. She was like an advocate for the show and got it on and produced it, and yeah, so her production company. Did you know that?
Really?
Yeah, so she helped get Star Trek on the air.
So she got the chunk of the money then.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. She probably got, unless they screwed her, which, they used to fucking screw everybody. But, yeah, she was partly responsible for helping Star Trek get on the air. Isn't that awesome?
That's awesome, yeah.
Because she, that she revolutionized TV with her I Love Lucy. And then revolutionized TV again with Star Trek.
That's right, and then I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's cool. It's called, I think it's called Phasers Set to Stun. Let me find that first. What the name of that book is. But so, for me, I love the original series. I love the Next Generation, and I love some of the movies, but not all the movies. There's some bad movies.
Okay, well then. The TV series was kind of TV series, then gone. Then 1980 Star Trek the motion picture.
Yes.
The Robert Wise directed. It's very, very sophisticated movie.
Yeah, Robert Wise, the director of Sound of Music, West Side Story, The Day the Earth Stood Still, The Haunting, Somebody Up There Likes Me, on and on and on.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought he's a good director, but he kind of went... I thought a little too much, too intelligent, too sophisticated.
Too philosophical, too existential.
Right.
Yeah.
Then, it's still a good movie, it's very intellectual movie.
Yes.
And then I liked that female officer, Persis Khambatta, Indian actress.
Yeah.
Bald.
Yeah.
Gosh,
Oh, you like that shit.
Oh, yeah.
You loved bald women.
There's nothing sexier than bald woman.
Really?
No, yeah.
Nothing?
No, well, nothing, yeah, well... Chanel O'Connor, nothing compares.
Nothing compares to bald. Yeah.
And then Sigourney Weaver, Alien 3.
Oh, you like that?
Yeah, like I said, nothing sexier than bald woman.
Whoa, Yuki. You are a fetishist. You love bald. The book is called Phasers on Stun, How the Making and Remaking of Star Trek Changed the World. And it's by a man named Ryan Britt. Great book. And have you read it? I'm about a third of the way through.
Okay.
And they talk about how they had to develop the ears for Spock and all the things and how they shot the first pilot.
Right.
And, then
first pilot, it wasn't William Shatner.
No, it was another actor altogether who played Captain Pike. Pike. Yeah, but then what happened was it just wasn't working. Then when they brought Kirk in, William Shatner, his chemistry with Spock, that was like the new center of the show, where it's like this sort of a cowboy type American gung-ho sex fiend deals with this very conservative, dry alien type, and how they sort of work together for a common goal, but they're not the same. And they have different methods and stuff, and that's what made the show work. And then, of course, you had other great characters like Bones and Uhura and all sorts of, Scott, like you said, Scotty. And they put all these great actors in these roles, and they just made these very human stories about how the choices in dire situations, and do we ruin the Prime Directive in order to not interfere with certain people that we meet, or aliens or things. It's a very interesting concept for a show, and very progressive as well at the time. You had an Asian Sulu, who was steering the ship. I mean, at that time, there was so much strife and racism in America, and to see these people on TV was very progressive.
Sulu Hikaru.
Yes. And who knew, like, in real life, he's gay, and there's just so many things that came out of Star Trek. I love some of the shows. Like, some of the episodes are fucking amazing and amazingly written. And even the time travel episode, the one where they go see Joan Collins. Oh, remember that one?
Yeah, Joan Collins, yeah.
And they have to put the knit cap on Spock to cover his ears and stuff, and they're trying to get back to the present. It's a great episode. Enemy Within, written by Richard Matheson. So many good ones. So the show, did you watch it when it was out, when you were a kid, or?
I was a kid, and then the show went to like a 2 season, right?
I think 2 or 3 seasons. They also had a Star Trek animated series, so I don't know how many seasons that really was. Probably 2 seasons, and then the animated series. You watched it in Japan?
Yes.
Was it translated to Japanese?
Yes.
Really?
It was. They show it Sunday afternoon, 4 o'clock.
Oh, really?
I still remember that then. Yeah.
That's cool.
It's called the. Operation Space.
That's the translated title, Operation Space?
Yeah.
Wow. That's cool. I mean, Star Trek is a much better title, but Operation Space is still kind of cool. I like that. Wow. So what, you watched it as a kid, then when Star Trek the movie came out, did you see it in theaters?
I saw the theater, then I thought that was, like I said earlier, too intellectual, and I thought should go more, entertainment.
Yeah.
Then second one, Wrath of Khan, that was the better, close to the TV show. It's like a very entertaining space show.
Yeah.
And then what third one was Search for
Spock.
That was good. Then Nimoy directed that one, right? Mm-hmm. And then what was the fourth one?
The Voyage Home.
Where
they travel to modern day at that time.
San Francisco and then Whale.
Yep.
That was good. Then I think William Shatner
directed part 5.
Part 5, I think since Nimoy directed too,
he was jealous.
Hey, I want to direct too.
If you can direct, I can direct too. Yeah. But 5, it's not great, but there's some cool stuff in there. I liked it. The Spock's brother and all that stuff.
Right.
But it was sort of a carbon copy of them looking for that God character again, and then 6 was The Undiscovered Country. Do you remember that one?
They made a 6. I thought they made only 5.
No, 6. Undiscovered Country was the last one, and the 6 is very good. They got the guy back to write it who wrote Khan, Nick Myers.
Nick Myers.
Yeah.
Oh, so Shatner didn't direct that one. Right?
No, I think
that's why it was good.
Most likely. But yeah, of the original series of movies,
Right.
2, 3, 4, and 6
Right.
are great.
Right.
1, it's good. It's just a little slow.
Yeah.
You know, it takes a little time getting there, but it's still visually amazing.
Right,
I mean,
visually.
you know. And then 5 is just, you know, it's like a B movie for Star Trek. It's just, it's still, everybody gives their all. There's some cool shit in there.
Uh-huh.
You know, when they're singing Row, Row, Row Your Boat. Remember that part?
Yeah.
Row, Row, Row Your Boat. And yeah, that's good. I like that. But it was close and no cigar. You know, the first movie I ever saw in the theater as a kid that I remember going to, Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan.
Oh, that was good. Ricardo Montalban.
Ricardo Montalban. He is the man. What a fucking great movie. I don't care what anybody says. It's a great fucking movie. Great concepts. The Genesis Project. The leaving those guys from the space seed to come back, the super soldiers and all that shit. Khan is a badass. He's hell-bent on revenge. Then you fucking find out that Kirk has a son.
Right.
There's all this shit happens in that movie. So much good shit.
Good. Yeah.
And Spock dies. That's fucked up.
That's right. But he comes back.
Yeah, they couldn't keep him dead. I mean, Spock is the key, right?
Right.
But Spock, I would feel, is more... He's one of the most crucial things in that whole thing, right? He's the crucial element. So when you take him out... The third one had Christopher Lloyd as the villain. He was he was a Klingon. He was
a Klingon, yeah.
The main Klingon bad guy.
Is that right?
That's a good one too. When he goes, "I have had enough of you," and he kicks him off. He kicks him in the face. Oh, it's so good. So I love those movies. Me and Liz during the pandemic rewatched, or I introduced her to some of them. She had never seen the movies. She had seen the show. So I showed her all the first 6 movies.
Right.
Loved them. She loved them. I mean, we were obsessed with Star Trek for like a whole month. And then, because of that, I started watching The Next Generation.
Now, is that the next one is Next Generation?
Yes. The next one following the Star Trek show after the animated series was The Next Generation. They had other things that they wanted to do, like Star Trek Phase 2, which was another with the original crew.
The Star Trek Voyager?
That's later. So I believe, I might be wrong, but this is how it goes. It's like Star Trek, the original series. And I'm just talking about the TV first, because then we'll get into the movies. Star Trek original series, then the animated series, then Star Trek Next Generation, then Deep Space Nine, then Voyager, then Enterprise, then all the fucking shit that they're doing on Paramount Plus, which I've never watched.
Discovery?
Oh my God, it's too Brave much. New Worlds, Lower Decks,
then
Picard.
I lost to keep tracking it.
I haven't watched a single one of those shows, and I heard that they're not that good, except I heard that the final season of Picard, season 3, is very good, and it's back to basics and back to...
No, I have no idea.
I have no clue. Because I watched a lot of Enterprise. Not Enterprise. I watched a lot of The Next Generation. I love The Next Generation.
Now, is there any episode before the original series, time-wise? Like, it's always...
So apparently there's a new show... Brave New Worlds, or Bold New Worlds, or Strange New Worlds, or something like that, that is about Captain Pike and young Spock on the Enterprise before Kirk. So it's a prequel series.
Prequel. So here's the thing. I like the original series, and then, cheesy set.
Yeah.
And then prequel, time is before the original series.
But it looks better.
Yeah, see, that's...
it looks more complicated. I don't know about better.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like, wait a minute, it doesn't make any sense, Yeah, I mean,
it's just the way it goes, technology and shit.
Right, but
the look of the original is really cool, and I don't know why they can't just take that look and just update it for
the same look, just update it, because
to now, yeah.
But I mean, they ignore it. I mean, so those. visual look is just doesn't make any sense. I mean, of course, time is different. We have a better technology, better technique, but
if something looks good and interesting and singular, why change it? Why does it have to be changed? Why does everything have to fucking change? Why can't you keep that aesthetic?
Right.
That's what people fell in love with: the look, the sounds, the actors. So find actors who look like these people and just remake the fucking original series in new adventures. Right? Because that, so the reboot, the J.J. Abrams Star Wars reboot, right? I thought that the first one was okay. Like, I had a great time watching it in the theater. I really enjoyed the actors that they had update the stuff. I thought that it was interesting that it had to be a mirror universe, so it's not the same universe, et cetera, et cetera. Thought it was great. The second one, Into Darkness, fuck that shit. And I'll fucking tell you why now. It makes me really upset that they did this. Benedict Cumberbatch, good actor.
Right.
Fine. He's not Khan. I don't care what you say. I don't care how
he was younger Khan?
He was supposed to be Khan. Now, it doesn't make any fucking sense because Ricardo Montalban has the greatest chest in the business. Benedict Cumberbatch got a bird chest. It's not the same. But he's still a great actor. So what they should have done, and this is why fucking Hollywood sucks, because all they're going to do is go, we need to have Khan in it. Okay, you need to have Khan. But here it is. You have Khan, and he's the MacGuffin. He's in the cryogenic sleep chamber, and you have Benedict Cumberbatch play like a soldier in Khan's crew, they're all super soldiers. And his goal in the fucking whole movie should have been, I'm going to wake up Khan. And they're like, what? Like, we don't know who Khan is. And then they slowly realize, oh, this is a bad motherfucker. If this John Davidson guy wakes Khan up, we're fucked. That should have been the MacGuffin. Not because there's a scene in Into Darkness, and they wanted it to be so exciting. And when he goes, I'm Khan. And the way he says Khan, it's like, Khan. But they didn't know. Chris Pine had no idea who the fuck Khan was. They don't know.
That's right. They are too young to know.
They're too young to know. So when he says Khan, the audience is supposed to go, Urgh! Instead I went, fuck you! Fuck your mother! Yeah. He should have just been a super soldier who's ready to wake Khan up. Now, that aside, the next one after that, what was it called? Like The World's End or something? The guy Simon Pegg wrote it.
Simon Pegg.
The third Star Trek with Chris Pine. Very good. It was back to basics. A fucking standalone Star Trek movie.
J.J. didn't direct though, right?
He didn't direct the third one. He only directed the first two. And, maybe it's not his fault because there were other screenwriters and shit. And apparently now one of the guys who wrote those reboots is in charge of Star Trek at Paramount Plus.
What I can't understand is you can't direct Star Wars and then Star Trek.
You've said this before, and I kind of disagree with you. Why not? Why can't you?
Because it's totally different than.
But certain directors can. I mean, I'm not saying that J.J. Abrams did a great job with either. He did, in my opinion, make entertaining movies, and it's a
different type of movie.
But that's fine. Look at who we're talking about, Robert Wise. Look at all the different kinds of
movies. Well, I think he was wrong choice, too.
So, Star Trek is hard to pick a director for.
Yeah.
Especially the movies, right? Did you watch any of the Next Generation movies? Like First Contact?
Yes, I did.
I like First Contact. You didn't like that?
So many movies. I can't
You forgot?
remember.
So the first one. So here's the Generation movies. You got Generations, Star Trek Next Generation, where they brought back Captain Kirk, and so him and Picard were like having an adventure together, trying to stop Terrence Stamp from destroying the universe. Terrence Stamp, who's the guy from? Terrence. That's the first one.
White face which one was that?
White face.
Some white face, and then it's a.
Oh, pulled back?
Yeah.
That's the third. Okay, so you have, that's Generations. Terrence Stamp, is that right? Who's the guy from fucking Clockwork Orange?
Malcolm McDowell.
That's it. He's the bad guy. I think. Anyway, so that one's not so good. They kill fucking Captain Kirk in such an anticlimactic way. It's stupid. It's stupid. Then Star Trek First Contact is very good about how the Borg comes and then they get sent back in time and then they go with the first time that they make contact with the light speed or whatever it's called, warp speed.
My problem is that too many different series from different time.
It's
there's so many.
It suffers from franchise fatigue sometimes. But
So
the
I
Next
get
Generation
confused.
I love. So then the third one is Insurrection with F. Murray Abraham. He's the bad guy, and he has the face
Okay.
pulled back. I think that's who you're talking
That's
about. That one's all right. It's a very classic story about some utopia getting taken
Right.
over by the fucks and the thing, and then they stop it and Data and the whole thing. And then the last one is Nemesis.
Oh, Nemesis. I kind of like the Nemesis. It's very.
If an action movie, but I personally don't like it because it was too like they just didn't have the Star Trek flavor.
Star Trek flavor.
It was like, all right, we're gonna make a '90s action movie, and here we go. But they didn't have like the philosophy or the psychology or they didn't have the small moments that you need, because all the best Star Trek stuff has a lot of human emotion, a lot of thoughtfulness, based around action and adventure.
Right.
You know, the best ones do the mix, I think. At least outside in the movies, movie-wise. On the show, I could watch an hour of just talking. Give it to me. One of the best episodes of The Next Generation is A Measure of a Man. You ever see that one?
I don't know.
Where they put Data on trial. Data's like the cyborg that's trying to be human.
This, right?
Yeah, no, that's Geordi, the visor guy. Data's the robot who's trying to learn how to be human.
Data, the silver face.
Yes, the android, gold
And
face. So they put him on trial for something, and the whole episode is about whether or not he's a sentient being or not. And it's just really interesting and philosophical, and it's all about just a trial talking.
Well, I mean, by that time I got lost, so you know, it's a.
You couldn't get.
I couldn't
so
keep up.
so what I did in order to get into The Next Generation, which when I was a kid I watched some of it and I liked it, but I didn't think about it for many years. I went and I researched online what are some of the best episodes, and I took like maybe 5-6
Right,
articles, and I took a list of the 10 best, and I watched those.
Right.
Fucking amazing. And then because I did that, I started to get into it deeper and watch the other episodes that were either connected or followed. And they say that the first season
Right.
of Enterprise wasn't that good, and it started to get better in the second, third, fourth, fifth season.
Yeah, that's other pro. I mean, we did the talk about earlier. You know, TV and movies, and it's all mixed up, and then it's just 20, 30 years span, like Harry Potter, too long, Star Trek, too. I mean, I don't remember. I can't catch up. I mean, it's just so many.
Yeah, so many things.
Yeah.
So how do you cherry pick? I think now that we have the internet, we could do that. We could find out what the best of each season is and pick that out and just watch 2 or 3 episodes.
Well, I have to complain about it because, before movie used to be movie. You go see the movie and you enjoy, and then sometimes you forget about it.
Yeah.
But now these days you have to research. You have to what's called Easter egg, whatever.
Yeah.
All related.
Yeah.
I'm not buying it. I mean, why you have to read the book or comic book or read the TV to understand movie?
Money. They want your money. You can't.
Well, see, that's why I don't like it, because
Right. It's not art anymore. It's commerce.
Yeah, it's not the movie or
Yeah.
TV anymore. It's all
It's a conglomeration of
yeah. And then the
suckers.
music, and then toy, merchandise, T-shirts, action figure. It's all about the money.
But it helps people survive. Some people, don't you want Jean-Luc Picard, what's his real name? Patrick Stewart. Don't you want him to live in a nice place? Don't you want the people who are the art directors to make a nice living?
It's better me than him, right?
That's true. Yeah, you should. You never worked on a Star Trek related anything?
No, really, no.
No, I would love to. I wish. I would.
Well, which one do you like? If you have choice, which one would you like to work on?
At this
Star
point?
Trek or Star Wars?
Oh, if it was like a Sophie's choice between the two?
Yeah.
Well, nowadays, I would rather work on Star Wars because I respect Dave Filoni as like the heir to the Star Wars legacy because George Lucas handpicked him. The people in charge of Star Trek now, it's this guy Kurtzman or something. I don't know if he's the right person to be shepherding in the Star Trek universe in the way.
It didn't end. Are they still doing Star Trek?
They still have like 2 or 3 shows on Paramount Plus, yeah. So for my personal taste, at this point in time, I would rather work on Star Wars so I could pick Dave Filoni's brain and just learn from him. That's what I would want to do. Or Jon Favreau, you know, that kind of person.
Right.
But, you know, Star Trek, I would love to be on as an alien. I would love to fucking get dressed up as an alien and walk in the background and just be on the show. That would be incredible. Incredible. Because then you could go to conventions forever and say, I was on Star Trek. You could fucking go to every Star Trek convention and be like, I was the 7th alien from the left. Forever. Just like the people in The Walking Dead. There's extras and stuff. They go and they make money at conventions because they were the 7th zombie featured on the 4th episode of the 5th season. That's what I want. I want to make money off of this shit. Don't you?
Yeah, but well, we are only the last drive-in.
I know. We don't make any money there. That's for sure.
We're losing money.
We're losing money. And just put us in anything with the word "star" in it. I don't care if it's Star Whores, anything. Just we are Star Whores. That's what we should do. Is just start sucking dick in space for money. So with did you ever watch Deep Space Nine? You ever see any of that stuff?
No, those no spin-off. I mean, I tried, but since I don't know what's going on, and I just couldn't watch it.
Couldn't. I heard this Deep Space Nine is the best. Like some people think it's the best Star Trek stuff out there. Yeah, I really want to get into it. I watched 1 or 2 episodes when I was doing the Enterprise, but then I said, you know what? I'm so into the Enterprise right now. Not Enterprise, Next Generation, that I'm just going to keep concentrating on Next Generation. And now I've slowly been off Star Trek for a little while. Haven't watched anything new, so I might dip into Deep Space Nine. I don't know if I'll ever get to Voyager or Enterprise or any of that stuff. I'm not sure. I don't think I'll ever get into Discovery. The only thing I might do, because I love the Next Generation so much, is watch the season of Picard that they say is good. People say the 3rd season of Picard is like prime Star Trek.
I see.
Yeah. Would you go on a 5-year mission into space? Like, would you be okay with that if it paid you well?
No, I don't think so.
You wouldn't want to be on that ship for 5 years?
No.
How big is the Enterprise? Is it the size of a city?
Yeah, I think so.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting, because I always wondered how big, I wonder how many people they could fit on the Enterprise, the first one.
The 500 crew?
500 crew?
My guess, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of death on that original show, so they're always losing some motherfucking red shirt. You know, the red shirt theory?
Yeah.
They're always losing people, and wow, so yeah, 500 people on that 5-year mission to boldly go where no one has gone before. They changed it from no man.
Yeah, I don't want to go there, probably.
You don't?
No.
So you don't want to deal with space, you don't want to deal with aliens, you don't want to deal with Kirk. Would you fuck a green woman? He fucked a green woman.
Oh, yeah.
He's so horny that he put his penis inside of a green woman from outer space. If I was, like 19, I would have done it.
Why it's green? There's a green alien in Guardian of the Galaxy.
Yeah, Gamora.
Yeah.
What about it? You want to fuck her?
Yeah.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She's pretty hot, Gamora. Right. I think if the right parts were there, I would do an alien.
But the Savick.
Oh yeah, she was hot. Christy Alley.
No, I was the other one, third one.
Oh, you like that one better?
Yeah.
Really?
The Christy Alley was the
She
second
was in
one,
part
right?
2, and then they recast her because she didn't
Right.
want to return. She went to Cheers or whatever.
Right, that's the third one.
You like that one?
What's Robin Curtis?
Oh, I didn't even know her name. I missed out. But okay. You like that one?
Yeah.
You would make some Vulcan signs.
Vulcan, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Can you do it? I can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Vulcan. We're both right
Live
now.
long
Me and Yuki have both
live
hands
long
up.
and prosper.
Live long and prosper. I love that shit. I like the idea of getting rid of some of your emotions in order to be logical. That was Spock's whole thing, is logic.
Right, logical, yeah.
And I think more humans need to use logic over emotions.
I know. He is always logical, but humans are not.
No, Kirk was just leading with his
Yeah.
cock. He was like, let's go into space, and his penis was the North Star.
Right.
It's like, what the fuck is he? He's just like banging everybody.
Yeah.
But that does seem a little fun, like if you're Captain Kirk.
Right.
And you're going on space adventures and stuff. I mean, why not? 5-year mission? 5-year missionary.
I don't know that. It's always like, remember end of the Close Encounters of the Third Kind?
Yeah.
And then,
Dreyfus?
Dreyfus, Roinieri, his character going up in the space.
Would you go?
No.
You wouldn't? No, I wouldn't go either.
You wouldn't go?
No, because what do you... Because you get up there, you're 7 light years from Earth, and then the aliens are like, all right, now it's time for potty, and they just fuck you until the cows come home. You don't want that. I mean, unless it's like hot sex, but what if it's like not fun? Or what if they just like dissect you? Or what if you go and you can't breathe? Or there's a lot of reasons not to follow the aliens.
Okay, so only reason you don't know because it's alien. Then Star Trek because it's us.
But the thing is, with Star Trek, you're in a spaceship with other humans who,
Right.
and maybe some aliens who you trust,
Okay.
and you're living as a crew. That's different. But if you're just going to trust these little motherfuckers to be good to you for all eternity, and what are you going to learn about rocks on another planet? I mean, who cares? Why can't you just like have them stay on Earth and teach us instead of us going into the cosmos? I don't want to follow some strange aliens, and especially they have the music, but that's all. Like, what's the entertainment up in space? What do they do? What do they talk about? What do they eat? I like pizza. I don't want to go and Saturn and not have pizza.
Probably those aliens, they don't eat the bad food or
Right? They probably just make some fake paste out of like plastics that's edible, and that just keeps you so. How do you know that? How do they know that they can keep a human alive? It's like a pet. It's like Richard Dreyfuss at the end of Close Encounters is just their pet. It's like us taking a dog out of the woods.
That's interesting. Okay, then why he went up with the alien?
Because he was fucked up. He was a psychopath. That whole movie is him losing his mind. Even though he was right, because he was getting the visions, he's insane. He fucks his whole family over.
You think he's insane?
I think Richard Dreyfuss's character in Close Encounters of the Third Kind is a piece of garbage.
I never heard that. I mean,
Terry Garr was right. He's going nuts. He's ripping the house apart because he sees
Right.
aliens. If somebody that you knew, and you're like, if I right now started going nuts and saying alien, you wouldn't talk to me anymore.
But isn't that he was fascinating about the
He was.
another culture, right?
Well, he was living on the faith and the visions that the aliens were sending him, and ultimately he was right. He saw the aliens. He did it,
Yeah.
but he sacrificed his whole family. I mean, he has kids. He's going to go into the cosmos with these fucking small aliens and leave his kids behind. What the fuck kind of a lesson is that?
Okay, so there won't be any story, but you think he doesn't come back?
No, I think you go far away. You never come back.
So you abandon not just his life,
Abandoned
his
Earth.
family, Earth?
Yeah, he's gone. He's done. That's the way I read it. He's like, fuck this Earth. I'm going. And that's so selfish and disgusting. Why couldn't he convince the aliens, like, stay here with me and talk it out? Or why couldn't he just figure out, like, what are we going? We're just going to go and hold hands? This is fucking stupid. It's still a
That's
good movie, but
interesting.
yeah, no, I find him to be a reprehensible character. I still love the movie, and I think it's
Right.
a brilliant piece. But I think Richard Dreyfuss's character in that, and the other mom, the
Melinda Dillon.
yes,
Yeah.
so she's also. I mean, she wants to get her kid back, But they're both fucking insane. I mean, they're losing their minds, and I don't want to be around no motherfucker who's gonna take aliens over their own flesh and blood.
But you know that the 34's character, the French scientist.
Oh yeah, Truffaut. Yeah.
He said, I'm envy for you, you know, the Richard.
Yeah, because he doesn't have any family. He's a loser. He's a loner. Not a loser, but a loner. He's like alone, I think, right? Isn't that the whole character's idea, is that he devoted his life to science? Maybe I'm misremembering.
But I thought that was, like, you know, the Dreyfus character was fascinating, another culture, another race, spaceship, universe. So he had he has a guts to dump everything and going up there. So 34's character says, I'm envy you because you can, but I can't.
Why couldn't he? They didn't want him.
Because he's a normal human being, right? Because he doesn't want to give up on the Earth life.
Right.
But Dreyfus' character, he can abandon everything.
Yeah, he abandons his family, his life, everything.
But isn't that the sort of fantasy thing? That's why it's a metaphor. Nobody can do it, but Dreyfus' character is doing it. That's why we envy him.
No, I don't envy him. I think he's a fucking horrible dad. He's the worst father and husband in the history of movies and television. Well, maybe not the worst. There's a few worse ones, like this boy's life. Maybe Robert. You know what would have been great is if it was an abusive guy, like in This Boy's Life, Robert De Niro's character. He was like, "Yo, fucking," and then he goes up to space. Then it would make sense. But this Dreyfus. Insufferable. He's molding his mashed potatoes. And
I thought there was a kind of metaphor because nobody can do it, and we looking
except
at
the deadbeat dad. So that's who we want to represent us in space, is some deadbeat dad. Fuck that. We want the best and the brightest, not some fucking psychopath Dreyfus asshole. So what are the aliens going to think of us? They're not. They're going to use us for fodder and pet. We're their pets.
I didn't think that way. I thought that was sort of metaphor. It's really, you know, since we can't, you know, it's envy. It's nice to looking at somebody doing it. So
I mean, I guess it's nice if for all mankind, if it would benefit mankind, but there was no proof other than a song that they were going to help us in any way. They communicated through music, but
right.
So what?
Well, that's a nice thing, you know, it's communication thing. So it doesn't matter if really he give up his life for Earth, going up there again.
Did you see, what's that Twilight Zone episode, To Serve Man? They communicated with us. They came down. He came down to the United Nations, and he starts talking. He's like, oh, we really want to be communicating with you guys. And then they take people up to see the planet, and it turns out that they just want to cook us. It's a cookbook.
That's cookbook, yeah.
Yeah, To Serve Man. That's more likely what the aliens are going to do to us, not fucking take Dreyfus on a roller coaster ride through the cosmos. They're going to take him up there and eat him.
Well, but that's the interpretation, because Spielberg didn't portray alien that way.
Yeah.
You know,
he punctuates it with
right.
yeah. But the evidence before that shows that Dreyfus is a piece of shit. Poor kids. His poor children. His poor beautiful Terry Gaw wife. He leaves her. Fuck that.
I thought that's a cool father.
You thought that was a cool dad? He rips the living room apart.
Right, and then, you know, it's like a huge toyland. I mean, you know, those
kids didn't want that. They wanted to play baseball and catch. And they wanted to talk about, you know, TV with him, not fucking the aliens.
Well, I mean, it is alien, but it's like a fantasy. It's a dream.
Of course it's a fantasy. It's a dream. I think, if in real life aliens came and said, you want to stay here in your earthly pleasures, or you want to come with us to the unknown edges of the galaxy, I'd say, I'm staying the fuck here where pizza and family and TV and movies.
I still think it's a metaphor. It's not really, you know, it's our dream. I wish I could be like him.
Right.
That's
Richard.
yeah, Richard
Dick
Dreyfuss. Yeah.
Dreyfuss.
Doesn't matter he really going there or not. It's like alien doesn't eat us like a Twilight Zone.
You remember AI? The other Spielberg thing? I thought that ending was really interesting, where it flash forwards to where the aliens are sort of like taking over, and they're like sort of machines, organic machines, and they find the little robotic boy and they give him one last day with his mother.
Right.
I really like that ending. See, now that ending I like.
Okay.
Because they give the little boy one more time with the mom. They give him what he always wanted, and he'll remember that for all eternity. Right. That's like a nice thing that they did for that little mechanical boy. But ripping Dreyfuss away from his family is a fucking horrible thing to do. These aliens, they're close encounter aliens.
I think you're taking it literally. You're taking it.
But it's literally what's on the screen. It's not a metaphor.
It's a metaphor. I mean, we're looking at it, but doesn't have to be. That's why the 34's character is saying, I envy you. We are all envying what he's doing.
The only envy I have is penis envy. The small penis. Maybe that would be fun if they take me from Earth and make my penis. Because I heard on Jupiter that you weigh a lot more, so maybe my cock would be a lot heavier.
Who said that?
Scientists.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I went to a planetarium once, and I stood on this thing, and it says how much you would weigh on Jupiter. And I weighed like 650 pounds or something on Jupiter. So my cock is at least 70 pounds of that 650.
Wow.
So on Jupiter, I have elephantitis of the nuts. Take me to Jupiter, please. Maybe I would say, guys, let's stop at Jupiter, see how much my cock weighs. And then the aliens go, all right, let's go. All right, back to Star Trek.
Yes.
What else? Anything else about Star Trek? Gene Roddenberry, genius?
He's a genius.
Yeah.
I think those gadgets, he was very... Those stuff is ahead of time.
Yes.
That time, this never happens, but it did happen.
Some things came to fruition. Same thing with 2001: A Space Odyssey. You got some gadgets in there, like the video conference calls and stuff. Yeah. That came to pass. Maybe back then they had that technology and it was secret and they never brought it out to the public because we're not supposed to know things for a long time until it's cleared from the governments.
I thought that around that time, 2001, some conspiracy theory, that was about 1968, 69?
Late 60s, yeah.
Yeah.
What was the conspiracy theories?
Well, first of all, moon landing was 69, right? At the same time. And then Vietnam War was going on around the same time.
Right.
And then, so government was try to our attention to the space. Oh.
So space crazy in order to forget what's happening on Earth.
Right.
Interesting.
And then that the famous story, that NASA went to Kubrick.
Right. They say that he faked the moon landing.
He faked the moon. Then you know what the Kubrick says.
What?
Okay, let's go to the moon. Instead of sound stage, I want to do location shoot.
Oh. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know how many people would have to be involved in that conspiracy theory in order for it to stay and stick?
But the famous one, that there was a letter.
A letter?
Yeah. Either NASA wrote to him or he wrote NASA back. Anyway, there was a letter
talking said, I'm going to fake this moon landing?
Yes. Well, no. I think that letter was talking about fake moon landing.
Oh, shit.
I don't know NASA wrote him or he wrote the NASA. I can't remember, but there was a letter exists. I hear.
Wow. Well, what's the difference between light speed and warp speed? Light speed's the speed of light. What's warp?
Warp is point to point.
Oh.
No, so I think warp is faster than light speed.
You're kidding me. Warp speed is faster than light speed?
I think so.
I thought you couldn't go faster than light. I thought Einstein stopped that shit dead in its tracks. I thought you... Wow, so warp speed is better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like warp speed. I want to go warp speed. I would do. I would drive.
I hear, let's say, light speed is point A to point B, right?
Yes.
This way.
Through space.
Through space. It's straight line.
Okay.
But the warp speed go like this.
It bends space. And
yeah.
time.
So it's...
That's a wormhole.
It's already in the destination.
It bends it.
Yeah.
To make it closer?
Right.
Wow.
Faster. Well, closer means faster, right?
Right. Oh, yeah. The closest, the fastest point between two distances is
yeah,
bending
because
out of space.
If you touches it to point, there's no distance.
Right. Whoa. Warp drive, warp speed.
That's what my understanding. I don't know if I'm right.
I don't know if you're right, but I like that idea. They bend space in order to get further out into the distance.
So
into the prime directive. That's where you don't interact with the species until they're ready, and usually they judge that by when a species gets to warp speed.
Oh.
So that's what the whole first contact thing is. James Cromwell goes out into the thing and catches warp speed, and it gets recognized by the Vulcans who are passing by.
Oh.
So then they come and say, "Hey, what's up? There's this whole federation. Come join us. You're at warp speed."
Now, so Millennium Falcon.
Yeah,
That's a light speed, right?
that's light speed. Yeah.
Okay.
Warp speed is Star Trek.
Right. Then you don't see the line, probably, warp speed. You just...
There's like a rainbow behind the
right?
ship.
It's like a... Boom.
Yeah, it goes.
Yeah.
But then when they show it going, it's like a rainbow drive behind it. It's nice. Rainbows in space.
Yeah.
I like that shit.
Sure.
All right. So that was Star Trek.
Yes.
Once again, we went on a lot of tangents. We
Right,
spoke mostly
so-
about how Richard Dreyfuss is a bastard. But everything else, I highly suggest, if you haven't watched Star Trek, just for cultural importance, go and watch
Right.
maybe 5 of the
I
original.
say, watch original 60 TV
Yes.
series, season 1, 2.
I agree.
Then you will get the whole idea.
Yes, and there's some great episodes, some great writing.
Right.
And then, maybe delve into some of the movies and this and that, and avoid a few of the movies.
Right.
But the Next Generation's really good, and then after that, I have no clue. I'm sure it's all
Right.
great. I'm sure it's all beautiful.
But I have no clue.
But we have no clue. We just know the original. All right, well, thank you so
Thank you.
much at the buffet. And if you got any suggestions,
Right.
let us know.
We talk about it.
We'll talk about it. And thank you to all our patrons and all our listeners and everybody who's out there commenting. We get some comments now, and people like
Yeah,
some.
yeah.
Yeah. A while ago,
Yeah.
when we did Star Wars, and Liz mentioned how maybe the Virgin Mary didn't consent to being birthed by God, like having the baby put in there by God. And somebody said that's a good twist on the whole religious concept of the Virgin Mother.
Really?
Maybe she didn't want to have that kid. That's fucking... I never thought of that. I mean, it's blasphemy, but...
Well, who are you talking about? The Princess Leia?
No, you remember you said in that they should add a little rape to Star Wars?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. So
That Anakin should have...
Anakin. So she didn't want that baby. She should get rid of it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, it's an interesting concept because then it led to the virgin birth and all
Right.
that. I mean, you know what? In a way, yeah. The Blessed Mother, maybe she didn't want to have a kid with a
Right.
ghost.
But again, my point wasn't really raping her. It's like a reason for him to go dark side.
Yeah.
I said the reason wasn't bad enough.
But
So,
you wanted it to be...
maybe rape, that bad enough to go dark side. I said it as a one example. It not really,
Right.
the Anakin raping her.
Right. It was just an example.
So one example,
Yeah.
something like
Something more powerful.
instead of I'm going dark side because committee didn't trust me. Like
Yeah, yeah.
that's not really bad enough reason
No, it's not a
to
bad
go.
enough reason. He's a selfish piece of shit, just like Richard Dreyfuss. Anakin
It's like
Skywalker is a whiny
it's a
asshole.
spoiled kid.
Yeah, spoiled kid.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. I just used was one example as
What if Richard Dreyfuss went to space and became a Jedi? That would be a great sequel. If it comes back and he's a Jedi, and he just hangs out on Earth and teaches people about Close Encounters of the Fourth Kind. That would be good. All right, we'll see you next time at the buffet.
buffet.
Yuki and John's Patreon buffet.